Wrestling from the standing position requires balance and positioning, and at the advanced level, a good, strong grip with motion. The same is true in baseball. A hitter's strong grip on the bat is essential for control in bunting and driving the ball, resulting in base hits and knocking the ball out of the park. In wrestling, this baseball grip plays a very important role in controlling your opponent to hit that single or double. And sometimes getting a strong grip on your opponent can help hit that home run. In this video, I'll share some effective advanced holds and skills from the standing position that will put your opponent to the mat and you in control so you can swing for the fences. I'll be working with the Zadig brothers, Bill and Mike, both National Collegiate All-Americans and freestyle wrestling champions for the highly successful Iowa Wrestling Program. They'll demonstrate the moves and drills that I've used over the years to help me and my wrestlers score quickly and effectively from the standing position. Let's head to the mat. As you notice here, we have Bill without a headgear, Mike with a headgear. Mike just finished his collegiate career, all through high school, all through college. Headgear is required. Actually, in competition, it's required. In practices, it's going to start being required in college. In international competition, you just don't wear one. Bill does a lot more international. He's just starting his, and he'll have to take this thing off, believe that or not. Tries to prevent cauliflower ears. The other thing I recommend are mouthpieces, which both of these guys wear when they actually wrestle in practice and in competition. Key on setting an opponent up is the stance. We've covered essential stance, but we're going to get a little bit more advanced here. Make the body into a block. There's no arms to grab. The head position is tucked into the shoulders to where there's no head to grab. And at the same time, besides this, you see this block position here. You see this block square position, the knees bent one way here, right here, just like this. The head is in position. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the head or the hand and we're going to create an opening, a setup, by just moving the opponent's head. And Bill will do this on Mike. All he's simply doing is creating the head position right there. See, the head got in there. He did it with a hand, or he can simply do it just with the head as well, pushing the head out of the way and coming in there. That's offense, which allows Bill to be able to create an opening completely on this side. Secondly, from a defensive point of view, as Mike shoots on Bill, he will do the same tactic, but do it on a defensive style. Just like that. Okay, once again, let's do that one more time. As he shoots, he blocks with his head and comes to an angle, hands down, just like he did from an offensive setup point of view. So you have an offensive head position to open up the stance for setups for shots, and you have a defensive standing position that did the same type of procedure that opened up Mike this time for a defensive scoring opportunity. Along with the setups, besides grips and head position, we also have a lot of stance and motion drills and movement that we utilized for setups for takedowns. We isolated several parts, a little bit of stance and motion, and he adds a little body fakes to it. Hip heist drill from here. Then we also have a knockout drill with our hips. When somebody shoots on us, we try to stop their momentum simply by going to the mat. So we put those three things together now in the stance and motion drill. So we have the stance and motion, body fakes, then we have the knockout part of it. We go to hip heist actions, and then we end up coming right back to our feet. And we go repeat right into it 3 or 4 or 5 times, before practice, after practice, during practice. It's a great drill as well as a great setup.
Even if your opponent gets by your front line of defense, head and arms, you still have the ability with your hips to get that score.
Now we get into the advanced ties. The first grip we're going to use is going to be called a baseball grip. Of course, obviously this would be a right-handed grip. This would be a left-handed grip. The baseball bat grip is a form of a 2-on-1 Russian tie, which is real normal as an upper body move here, but we just slide it all the way down to the wrist. It's right there. And it's almost like this is the baseball bat, and he's getting ready to hit those singles, doubles, or home runs right there. So this is a grip that, together here, the baseball bat grip is very effective for maneuvering. And you see the head position as well. That creates a tremendous opening on this side over here. Right from the baseball bat grip, we move right up to the wrist and elbow, right to here. Very similar, just a little bit different. And now for control, we actually move from the wrist all the way up to the upper body, right to their upper arm for control. These three ties, baseball bat grip, wrist and elbow, and wrist and upper body, are three great ties for setups.
The ability to be able to control your opponent with this wrist and elbow or wrist and upper arm leads into a lot of opportunities to score, just like this inside trip. It almost puts your opponent to his back, or at least a good takedown.
These grips are great for movement and control, but they're also good for setups for leg tackles. And so when we go over them, we'll start out with the baseball bat grip, and we'll show movement, head position, action one way or the other, good snap action, body fakes a little bit in there, but it also opens up a lot of leg tackles where he can move the guy here and set right there just like that. The second grip is wrist and elbow, same type action. Moving, shoving, smacking around. It looks for, you can also get leg tackles, real simple. And then the last one is the control, which is more pushing and shoving, but it also opens up leg tackles. It opens up movement, motion, body fakes. It also opens up just quick snaps when the guy leans, just like that, and he scores. We're going to do a 2-on-1 post drill. It's basically clearing arms with a 2-on-1 for setups or movement or even control. Okay, Mike's going to post. Bill's going to clear. He's going to come back in with the other arm. He's going to come back in with the other arm. This is back and forth. He clears to the outside, just above the elbow, and he lifts. Anytime he wants to, he can actually clear the arm and actually control it right there, just like that. Okay, now we are capturing the 2-on-1 off the opponent's initial reaction or movement. Mike here will be reaching for a collar tie. Bill catches it on the way, goes right into his control tie, upper body there. Secondly, Mike is in an upper body tie. He slides the hand down and brings it across. And then lastly, Mike's in an underhook where he slides down, pushes hard here, takes the hand right out for control on the 2-on-1. Now they'll do it, all three of them again, at a little bit different pace. Capture at the wrist, come right in there. Second, take it off, slide it down, come right in. And then lastly, off the underhook. Good. Part of the controlled ties or setups is the underhook and the wrist. Notice where my arm's in. They're on my ribs here. And it makes my body that square body that I talked about. Action is not deep, it's short, but you've got a lot of power here when you're pushing. Bill here will put the underhook on over here, and he'll control the wrist on this side. Underhook over here, it's not real deep, but you can see where the power is. And the wrist over here, you can see here the wrist is controlled in. And now he uses his shoulder to move Mike up in the air and motion a little bit there. It creates some movement. So where you end up with a good control wrist and, of course, a good control underhook over here with the shoulder in.
Being able to move your opponent around to be able to get a good wrist and also a good underhook leads to good scoring opportunities like this one, even putting your opponent on his back.
Another way of moving your opponent, besides 2-on-1s and underhooks, is an elbow tie off the head. Controls the elbow, and he gets those same motion, and he'll look for leg tackles and movement, and really opens him wide open. Control the elbow, he's motion there, he's motion, clearing it, looking for leg tackles. Everything's wide open there, right off that head tie. We're going to capture the front headlock. Bill here will be ready to react off this head position once it touches his shoulder. Mike will rest his head there, and as soon as he touches, he snaps his head under. Notice the elbow is in, the wrist is no deeper than the chin. Okay, that's, again, do that again. He just touches his head there, he snaps his head down. Boom, just like that. Secondly, the head is not in contact. He reaches up, takes the head to the other armpit. As he moves it around here, you can see the same type of procedure as before. Again, let's do both in a live action. The first one, get it and put him in motion. Snap, boom, just like that. Good, real good. Okay, again. Now, up in the air, the head position's up in the air, he snaps it to the other armpit. And then he motioned right there. Good, real good. We're going to take this same drill, this front headlock capture drill, and we're going to take it now from this level down to the mat level. Same position where Mike puts his head in. Bill's pushing a little bit, and he feels an action where weight in, and he'll snap him to the mat. Front headlock. Notice again, the elbow's tight, wrist is only to the chin, and now there's motion there, so he can set up his go behind or his leg tackle from there. Secondly, this time it's off a defensive scoring position where Mike shoots and he blocks with his head and he catches the head on the way in. Same type of action, and movement, and score. We started with 2-on-1s, baseball bat grips, and then we ended with front headlocks. And now we're going to put those two together because they go hand in hand. A natural reaction after 2-on-1 is for the defensive man to go in, block with his head, which you can go right into your front headlock. And it's a good drill. 2-on-1s, front headlock. 2-on-1s, front headlock, as they'll demonstrate. 2-on-1, front headlock. Right back again. 2-on-1, counters, front headlock. 2-on-1, counters with a head, comes in, front headlock, moves him, and he ends up with a leg tackle from here. Real good. We next move on to the defensive side of these controlled ties. We'll start out with a 2-on-1 baseball bat grip. Mike will have the initial baseball bat grip. Bill will get head position and end up on the opposite side through hand fighting. One more time. Starts out, creates head position, comes around, ends up with the same grip himself. Now he moves it up to a 2-on-1 higher in the arm, does the same type of head position movement, comes around, gets the wrist and elbow, comes to the other side. One more time. 2-on-1, head position, come around, ends up 2-on-1. Then lastly, Mike has a controlled 2-on-1 on, and he's going to limp arm out by pulling the arm like you're starting a engine up. It's right here. Just pull it out. Right here. He's controlling. Pull it out. Good, good. Here we're going to break or keep underhooks out. Mike will go into an underhook. Bill will follow by clearing and pushing with his hand. As you can see, when he clears, he pushes with his hand here and then rotates his elbow up and down and goes right back into it. Good, good. Secondly, Mike has an underhook and a head control. Bill will raise his elbow and front headlock and take the guy right down. One more time. Same type of thing. Underhook, comes up with a hand, front headlock, go behind, score points off defense. In the Essentials tape, we countered front headlocks by doing quick ducks and actually driving the man off him, going to a 2-on-1 from a front headlock. We're going to do the same thing here, but now we're going to set up actual holds. Bill will hit the actual holds on Mike as he's clearing that front headlock. Go into the 2-on-1, he'll fireman's carry, and he'll outside fireman's carry. Fireman's carry from a front headlock. Outside fireman's carry from a front headlock. Again, hit a couple carries right in a row off the front headlock. Good action. Notice how he clears the head. And now 2-on-1, our front headlock, outside fireman's. Good action. We're going into the two-handed post drill. It's a post drill action that I either use off Mike's shot or I've snapped him to the mat. In other words, he's down on his knees and he's keeping his hip position back, which is good. And Bill will be coming over top and pulling thumbs part of his fingers here, and we'll be trying to extend him this way. Just pull him, boom, and he pulls back. Boom, just like this. Very good action, which opens him up for holds, which we'll do next.
Here, Tom Brands uses both hands to score easily off his opponent's shot.
Couple easy moves off this double hand post drill here. As Bill is pulling him out of position, he'll be setting him up, one for a go behind. Do it again. Do it right into flow action. Couple pulls. Good. The second one, a mistake this guy makes a lot is when he gets pulled around, he happens to reach up just for controlled tie, and when he reaches up, he gets whipped. Pull him out of position. As he reaches up, boom, whip him right over. One more combination of moves off this double post drill is a knee tap, and that'll be a combination go behind and an actual type of whip over. Bill, go ahead. Boom, boom. That's a knee tap. Or if he doesn't go all the way over, if he tries that move this time, now he goes for a go behind. So either one of them. Let's do it one more time. Double hand post drill, knee tap. Hand goes all the way and blocks the knee there. You can make sure you see that. Do it one more time. And then lastly, if he doesn't go all the way over, when he falls on his hip only, pull the arm out and spin around behind. Quick points.
Royce Alger, world finalist, pulls his opponent to the mat and knee taps him all the way through for an easy score.
Another good sequence here is a front body lock right off when you snap somebody to the mat or they make a bad shot and you stop them defensively. So Mike's down on his knees. Bill's going to do a front body lock. The Russian that used to do this was Sergei Balaglosov. It's a front body lock, and we'll show a drill here when he gets his elbows back and puts a lot of hip pressure into him. He's going to knock Mike over to his hip. He's going to bounce back up. He's going to knock him back over the other hip, and we'll actually set him up for a series of moves, which you'll see later. Okay, he's down there. Lock it up. Around there, you attack that. Elbows are back. You almost have the guy's elbows forward here, locked around his chest here, just like this. Anyway, you can get it locked right here. And now you're putting your hips in, and you turn him a little bit to the side there. He comes back up. You whip him to the side there. You're only turning your upper body. You're only turning your upper body. Right, one more time. Back up. Boom. Right from this front body lock, Balaglosov drill, there incorporates some moves. When you hip into him and knock him over, you can get a go behind. You post and come right around the other side. Do that again. One more time. Hip in, post, and come around. Make it happen after a couple hip into him. One hip, two hip, now come right around. Good action there. One more time. You got to grab with a lot of authority here. Lots of authority. Lots of authority. Post and come around. Good. The real action comes when Bill posts his head and comes right around and straddles. Okay, do it again. Counter a little bit more, Mike. Counter a little bit. Real action comes in. He's fighting there. He's got to react by coming around and straddling. One more time. Hip in. Post the head. Straddle right around and hang on to those arms tight. We're still into defensive scoring. Mike made a shot here. He's reaching for a single leg. Bill's countering by sprawling, and he's going to reach in. This is a Randy Lewis arm trap drill. All he did was reach down to grab the wrist, clear the wrist up, pull it up against the body, switch hands. Now it frees this hand, and it frees this hand is under complete control here, this arm. Now he can swivel right around and get a takedown. Hip in. Okay, let's do it a couple times here in live action. He's in on a single leg. Bill reaches down, pops it, pulls it to his body, grabs, and comes around. One more time. It's an easy score. It's an easy score. Clears it, pulls it to the body, comes around, hips in. Another defensive scoring position off leg attacks is a front whizzer, far arm hip toss, but it's down at the mat level. Mike's made a shot. It's a front whizzer from the front here. He's pulling him up off the legs. He's reaching over, getting the far arm, and whipping right there. Good hip action. Let's go again. The hip has a lot to do with it, and pulling him up off the leg and driving him, pulling that arm out, makes him go right over to his back.
One of my favorites for defensive scoring is the whizzer and far arm, which can lead to putting your opponent on his back. And with correct adjustments, the pin will be the result.
Another mistake that's made on this single leg attacker here is sometimes he gets out of position a little bit by reaches and pulls in. He gets his elbows together. Bill's going to take advantage of that. He's going to get both arms with one arm in there. He's going to reach through, push it through. And he has both of them in there locked. Now what he's going to do, he's going to post into it by pushing into him and then coming right around, posting his head and step right over. Very similar to the Belaglossovs, but instead of body lock, you got two arms. One more time. You have to have both arms. He's got the kind of like the wizard, but he pushes the other arm through. He's got both arms trapped, hips into it, comes around, posts his head, steps right over and locks. Good fall. Defensive scoring, single leg attack. He gets stretched out a little bit. He's going to be pushing on Mike's head. He's going to look him for a quarter Nelson. He posts here on the arm. The hand comes down, grabs the chin. You do not turn the chin in high school. You just keep it locked. You drive the man over to the side, then post your head and end up just like the Beloglazov. All right, let's do it at a little bit quicker pace here. On a single leg, quarter Nelson, post, come around, lock. One more time. I want to make sure we get this hand control right. He's in on a single leg. He's pulling this up. He's pushing the head down. Look at the grip. This other one's on the chin, and he comes around. Ends up in a fall. Now we're getting into the offensive action, which is more my favorite. We're going to start in with the double legs. We're going right back to the grips that we talked about. We talked about the baseball bat grip. We also talked about this bunt grip. We really didn't mention it being a bunt, but it's a wrist and an elbow, but it is kind of like a bunt in baseball. So we're here, baseball, and here's more like a bunt. We're going to go right into a double leg off this bunt grip right here. In this action, you have what's called inside step or you have outside step. Basically, elbow and wrist, inside, and this is the one you usually use when you take the hand over to explode. Or if you're going to cut the corner, you do the outside step right here. But right now, we are doing the inside step right there because they're more explosive, and that's when you usually use your inside step. Okay, so Bill here will take the position right here. This is the wrist. This is the elbow. And all he's going to do is, he actually takes it across here in this tie, underhook tie, and he'll throw it to the side and step right there, just like that. Okay? Do it again. Just right there. Notice something here I want you to see on the other way. I want to see his hand here go right to this knee here. Take his hand right to it as you do it. Control tie, boom. Then you run the guy over, right at the knees, just like that. Make sure you don't go any higher than the knees. Knees and below for finishes. Knees and below. Right off the bunt. Boom. Right in there. To go right along with that first double leg that I called the Chris Campbell double leg, we go to another double leg, but it actually covers across the body. It's kind of a post double leg where Mike here will post after Bill gets a 2-on-1. It's a 2-on-1. He posts. Now Bill will actually take his post arm here, or take this free arm, 2-on-1 arm, and clear with the post arm like that and shoot a double leg with the inside step, just like that. Okay, let's do it kind of realistic here when the guy's countering a little bit and you're hitting him hard here. 2-on-1, post, drive, knees and below. Good.
Clearing your opponent's defensive arm off the 2-on-1 leads to a good double, which can result in at least 2 points.
We're into double legs for offensive scoring. This next is probably one of my favorites. It's called a sweep double. It's so pretty sometimes that you almost call it a sweet double because it works so well. It knocks guys right over without any kind of resistance. You can do this sweep double off the baseball bat grip, fake to the outside, come back across, or you can do it from a good inside tie control, and we'll do sweep doubles from both these positions. First one from baseball bat. Right back up. Again, same one. Baseball bat, fake, come across. Stay right at the knees. Okay, the next one's from an inside tie. Fake, come right across. He goes right down. One more time. This is an outstanding move. It wins at all levels. baseball bat grip or inside tie.
A sweep double makes your opponent fall down for an easy score.
We're going to hit double legs from the underhook and kind of the wrist tie, but sometimes we don't have that wrist. So we're going to do 3 double legs from the underhook, 1 on the same side head and 2 of them from the far side head. The first one's called a pop double on the same side head. Underhook, same side head. Mike posts, and he pops up, takes him right down to the mat. All the way to the knees. Do that one again. Got to get the guy leaning in. He posts, come right in, comes up. Oftentimes you don't want to go down to the mat, but on this one, when the guy's leaning, you do that pop post. Again, one more time. Pop him up. Boom. Good. All right. 2 more double legs come from the same type of tie, but the head's on the other side. Instead of having the head on the same side, the underhook, head's on the other side. Now we're going to do a cross block with the foot right there, catches and goes in. Let's do that a little bit slower so you can see the foot. The foot comes up and actually just traps. Shoulders in there, foot comes up, foot right there. Now you come right down to there and you drive him over. Knees and below. Look good. Look real good. Okay, one more time. Underhook, head on the far side, catch it, move him a little bit, catch him, take him right down. Looks good. And the last one would be a slide by from the underhook. Slide by, you just get him, you push in, you go right down to the knee, take him over. Again, one more time. Very similar to the cross, but you just kind of pull him with your arms. Knees and below for the finish. They look really good. All 3 double legs again, one more time. Same side, pop, cross block with the foot, knees and below. And then lastly, slide by, pulling the arm right to the knees and below.
Setting your opponent up for a pop double will sky your opponent, and then, of course, return to the mat for points.
Kind of having a throwback here to the Essentials tape. After reviewing the Essentials tape, I thought maybe I wanted to add a little bit, so I'm throwing it in this advanced, but probably should have been in the Essentials. It's a head to inside and head to outside dump where you set the guy down with a high single leg. So we'll start out with a head to the inside, and all you're simply doing is setting him right here down to his butt by going backwards real quick, moving right down to his butt, just like that. Good, good. And of course Bill's not leaving his feet here, which he's doing correctly right now, but once he gets down to the mat, he would cover him and drop down to his hips and below or knees. But again, let's do that dump again. Head to inside, high dump. It's an essential, especially for heavyweights. It's a real simple move. Set him right down on his butt. Boom, just like that. Good action, good action.
3-time All-American Bart Chelsvig gets stopped on his initial shot, but uses a secondary move, the dump, to take his opponent down.
That same action happens with the head to the outside as well. Head to the outside as well. Again, in the essential tape, we took them that way because that's the normal action, driving. But here, we've been stopped and we're setting them right on their butt. Boom, just like this. Good, good action. One more time. This is head to the outside, essential. Good, not bad. I call those secondary moves because usually when you come in, you want to stay the same direction. So usually you come in and drive. But here, we got stopped. And it can actually be a primary move by simply, if the guy sticks his leg out sometimes and thinks he's pretty skilled at that, you just reach and pull it and snatch him and split him right there. So just stick your leg out because you're pretty tough there. Just it's a primary move, but just grab right behind here and pull right back. Boom. It's like that. Do it again. Don't even have to go in that far. Good, good. One more time. Boom. There she is. Another high single leg finish is just to put the shoulder under, get the weight off the near side, and go to the far knee. It's called a barzagar after a famous Iranian who won the world championship several years ago. Anyway, he's in on the single leg, head to the inside. He's driving in, putting the shoulder under. He's going to the far knee. Driving, take him off his feet. Boom. All right, now let's do it in flowing. Baseball bat grip, right to the high single leg, right to the barzagar. Good, good action. Or do a 2-on-1. Do a 2-on-1 grip to the high single leg, barzagar. Good, nice. Going right back to our ties. Let's say it's the baseball bat grip, and we're going to go right to the low ankle finishes here. This is a series that is very effective. There really are no counters to them if you hit these correctly. Let's go into the upper hand to the knee, and then the lower hand to the ankle. Okay, good. Let's put a little action into it now. This same grip. Nice. Again. Top arm, knee, forearm, ankle. We also have the same action, but this time instead of the outside arm reaching first, the inside arm reaches first. Now we have to go behind. This is a little more difficult. Baseball bat grip, movement, the head goes to the outside. Come across to the far ankle for the finish. It's a little bit harder to execute. Baseball bat grip, head there, ends up right there. For those that are very fluent, we're going to do an ankle pick. It's actually going to be a fake, and then we're going to use that momentum to go right to a sweep single leg. Bill's going to hit the ankle pick, set him up, and then sweep right around to a single leg. Good. One more time. Let's do it a couple more times. Make sure you get that good ankle pick to where the guys pull him back after you set him. Then come right around, come right up with that leg. Always pick the leg up. Good. We're going to go right into some single leg finishes from the baseball bat grip, and we're also going to do it from like an inside tie. Since we've been doing a lot of these type of tie-ups, we're going to focus on 3 finishes from both these tie-ups. First one would be head to the outside, lift, baseball bat, up in the air, just come right around. Second one's going to be cutting the corner from that same tie, coming right around, picking that leg up. Third one's going to be a crackdown, right to Mike's rear end. Baseball bat in, crack it down, finish. Make sure the head comes across. Good. We do the same from an inside tie too. Same finishes, all 3 from the inside tie. Good. Cut the corner. Good. And crack down. Good.
The near arm far leg setup can lead to a head to outside shot that cuts the corner, and with proper lifting, a good score.
We're going to start right in with the 2-on-1. It's actually a high control 2-on-1 up here around the shoulder. And we're going to use our legs as hands here, and we're going to be able to lift our opponent's leg right to our hands. At the same time, we're doing a head drive finish. 2-on-1, movement, trap, head drive finish. Good. Very good move for heavyweights. Good controlled tie-up. Get him to circle, step, trap, head drive. Got to pick that knee up when you head drive. Got to pick that knee up, keep that hip under you. Make sure you push in before you trap the foot. Push in. Looks real good. Great job. Oftentimes in high single leg finishes, one gets in trouble simply because an opponent is tough and he puts weight on the feet and he starts breaking grips. When that happens, if you trap the knees, then you're going to be in good position. And it's a kind of a drill that we use, but it's also, it leads into execution, and we'll get right into it. Bill has a high single leg, head to the inside. He's reaching down. He's breaking the grip. He pinches the knees together. Now, the drill is simply moving the guy here, but if you want to finish besides moving, you just reach down and grab the far knee, lock the hands, and pinch him right up in the air. The same position works with the head to the outside. Same position works with the head to the outside. Head to the outside. Right here, knees are trapped. He has control of the wrist. He reaches down because he's close, and he can pop him right up there. Now, this drill works real good if you want to just use it as a coaching tool, just by getting in there and just pinching. Just get in there and pinch and just move the guy. Move the guy. Just moving. Back one way, moving the other way, right here. Just like that, okay? Now, head to outside. Same thing. Move him right there. That's a drill right there. Small little steps here. And, of course, the finishes is just going down to the knees and driving right through here. Or the last finish would be on the head to the inside single when the guy initially grabs is to reach far through. As he pulls the leg up, reach the arm all the way through, trap right there, take him right down. One of the first things we talked about was head position. We used our head a lot from an offensive and a defensive point of view. We're going to start out with our hand turning the guy's head, and we're going to follow up with a lot of outside steps from singles to doubles. So, Bill, go ahead. Execute with the hand into the single leg to the double. Real good. Real good. Notice how he moves the head out of the way with one hand, follows up with the other. The hand keeps the push, the weight over here, and he goes right down to a double leg. Single to double. The thing that's key about this is that head acts like these hands when you push people around. That transfers the weight back and forth to where there's no weight when you execute. Okay, again, get motion with the head. Boom, boom. Good motion in there. Perfect, perfect, right there. We got it down so well, let's do it one more time. Moving that head out of the way, one hand, the other. Perfect. 2 in a row, we'll stop at that. The next tie to the leg tackle, single to double, is going to be the front headlock. We've already went over the capturing the front headlocks with the single arm and actually putting it across. And now once we get it, we're going to move him out of the way. It's very similar to what we just did with that head motion and hand motion, and then we're going to attack the single to the double with the outside step. Okay. He lays his head, he front headlocks, move his head this way, out of the way. He reaches single, push across to the double leg. Okay, let's do it in live action now. Now remember, before when I talked about snapping that head, it's not a situation where you snap the head and hang on to it. It's you snap the head, especially when you're going to another move, you move him right away. Move him right away. You don't hang on to any position. You move right away, come in, tackle that near knee, far knee. So, we have a couple ways of tackling the head. Front headlock move, perfect. Nice. We'll see if he has another one on him. Let's do the actual different setup from the far side this time. His head's up a little higher. Let's jam it from that other arm into it. There, cross, move. Yeah, nice. 2 types of setups. They both worked well. We're going to do a front headlock drill from the standing position and the mat position. It's basically changing side to side with the head. This opens up opportunities on both sides. Depending on which side you're best, you might want to be able to maneuver. At that level, you can go to a leg tackle. Then the same thing can be on the mat. Moving side to side. Front headlock drill, side to side change. Go behind or leg tackles. Singles to doubles off your opponent's action. Kind of like reshooting. After the opponent shoots in, you want to pick it up, create an angle, use the same ties, whether it be the head position, front headlock, and you attack the legs or try to get your goal behind. But in this case, we're going singles to doubles. Good action. Again, let's try to stay in the middle here more. Mike shoots, he counters, moving the head out of the way. Great shot on the knee to knee. That was good. Okay, this time he's going to get in a little deeper, so he's going to end up in a front headlock. But instead of holding it, he's moving it right away again off his shot. Front headlock to a single to a double. Yeah, good action. One more time. Nice.
A good defense can lead to scoring leg tackles off your opponent's shot.
We're going to do the same thing. This time, instead of off his action, we're going to actually move him into that position by pushing and snapping, which is my number one choice. I would rather not have this guy shoot. But if he does, we have both available. We're going to go into where we push and snap and then hit those same actions. Nice, nice. There's no risk in these, the ones where you snap. Front headlock one. There it is again. Great. Okay, here we have a series off the elbow, which usually I don't teach a lot of letting people on my head or on my athlete's head. But there are some good moves you can do from there right off the elbow if you get your power and your pressure into it and get the guy in motion. Here we're going to do like a power push elbow to a near single to a far double at the ankle, knee and below. Terry Brand's Olympic bronze medalist and world champion twice was able to do a lot of this action right here. And it just kind of gets this guy out of position at an angle where he runs by and then the guy just tackles it. Single to double. Mike will execute this. Not bad, not bad. Are you seeing this elbow here? Are you seeing this elbow? Here, grab a hold. See, it's here. He's pushing here. Let's get around here and show this. Right here. See how he's pushing this right here? And he's getting a lot of weight transfer and coming in there and coming around behind, above the knee or below. Let's go to the ankle this time when you come around. Let's go to the ankle. Last one. Let's make it flow. Make it flow. Great. Great job. Okay, we're going to talk about tosses, basically being able to pick somebody up and throw them through the air. And we're going to talk about defense. I'm going to start out with the defense because defense is very important. If you've never done this before, it's actually pretty difficult. And it's called just hip sagging and moving in a circle to keep the guy from tossing you. Mike here is going to come up and get double unders. He's going to try to pick him up. Bill is going to sag his hips, take his weight off his feet, a lot of weight down, and he's going to be able to maneuver in a circle here. And it's really the defensive drill that we're looking for right here to keep from getting thrown. Mike comes in with it right there. Being able to move around from here, just make him a heavy hips, moving away. Try to push out of there, come over top, and break. That's the object. You don't want to get staying there unless you're going to do a maneuver or an offensive move. Now, there's some things he could do there, like inside tripping and that type of stuff. But right now, we're showing the defensive heavy hips drill, and he actually came up with the chin, not in the throat area. That's illegal. He can rotate his arms out as well. Let's see how he rotates the arms out, just without even coming in on the chin this time. Just after you sag, just rotate the elbow out, just like that. Comes in. Let's do that again, so I can see how that arm comes to the inside. One arm at a time. 1, 2, good. Mike's coming in with the double unders. He's getting a little out of control. He's pushing in with his upper body a little bit leaning. And instead of just breaking the grip and sagging, Bill is going to hit him with a headlock. Go ahead. Automatic pin. Again, he's coming in. He's sagging his hips. The guy's pushing a little bit out of control. Hits a good hard headlock. Bang, right there. We're going to stay along the same terms. We're coming in with double unders, but we're looking for like a bear hug knee block. And what it is, it's more of a controlled knee block, one where you really take any kind of move away from this guy that just headlocked him because he has a low hip and he has a good transition with his knee and his other leg. Double unders, block with the knee, switch, transition, control all the way down to the mat. Okay, now we're going to do it at a little bit faster pace. Walk him after you get him a little bit. There you go. Not bad. One more time. Get a little hip pop once you get there. Once you get to the side. Here we go. Pop. Take it right down. Boom. Not bad. This next toss comes from double unders, or it can come from an overhook and an underhook. Probably the most common is from just the over and under. It's a lot of guys have done this. It's probably a guy that from Oklahoma named Metzger used to use this a lot, and the name of the hold is actually called the Metzger sometimes, but we have other people that have kind of taken it away from him, and they use their names as well. So it doesn't really matter whose name it is, but it's a good move. Over and under or double unders. We'll start with an over and under. Set the guy up, block his knee, come inside the crotch, and pop your hip. Guy flies to his back. Okay, let's try it again. We'll show it one more time where the hand goes to the head and the knee goes to the outside block. You set him up by moving him a little bit, block the knee, come inside with the head, and in the crotch, pop the hip, he flows. Okay, now we'll do it at more live pace. Over and under, set up, catch, boom, right to his back. Perfect. One more time. Metzger, boom, boom, block the knee, boom, flies through the air. Another great toss is a step-up knee block, and really putting your hip into it and throwing the guy. The risk in this really isn't that high because we're not taking the guy backwards, whereas a lot of people throw to their own back. This time we're going to throw more forward and a little bit to the side. Step in, catch that, toss. Try to get a little more penetration. The key is almost like winding up, boom, so you get a lot of power there. Yeah, perfect. Now, I realized he bounced free, and then you got to be able to contain the guy. Now, in freestyle, that's points, but in high school style and collegiate style, you have to control the guy. It's not an illegal hold, but you must maintain control. One more step up. Here we go. Make it good. Penetration, good, perfect. This last toss comes up off when a guy is in on a high single leg and he reaches up around the waist, or if he's just in an over and under hook. And from there, one man goes for a bear hug and the other guy counters by hooking an ankle, putting his hips and leg underneath him, and tosses him through the air and ends up on top. It's a big move overseas in Europe. A lot of times you think you got these guys and you start bending them over, and because you bend them over like this incorrectly with your hips out, they toss you. You go flying. Okay, here we go. Mike's going to be attempting a single leg coming up off there. Comes in, he hooks the ankle, gets his other foot underneath him and tosses high in the air, ends up on top. Okay, we're going to go in there hard. He's going to push in hard with an over and under. And he's going to set up his toss and hit it. There it is. He's going to hook the ankle. He's going to come under and toss. It's a little bit like a lateral drop, but there's not much risk because you take the post away by hooking that ankle. Because remember on the sag drill, you try to step around? Well, there's no ankle when you step around. There's nothing but a stump there. Air. So he flies. One more time. Pushing in, hooking an ankle. Actually, his ankle wasn't even hooked that time. He just used his knee. But that's okay. As long as you have some kind of an attack. Before he used the ankle, the leg lift, this time he just come up with the knee. A lot of people overseas really utilize this type of pressure with their legs. This type of action needs some safety, and so you put in a crash pad to make sure that somebody doesn't get hurt, especially if you're going to do this from a drilling point of view over and over again. It saves a lot of wear and tear on the body. Saves a lot of wear and tear on the body. Once he hooked the ankle, the second time he just used the knee. Again, in there, hook that ankle, throw, boom. Key moves. We just have a series of key moves here that are outstanding. Some of these moves that I'm bringing up are ones that have been in the past, and maybe I haven't seen for quite a while. This one, a young man from Lehigh, Lieberman, used to do this. It's a near side duck, far side trip, and it works very well. Nate Carr has done it. A few other people have done it, but it's a near duck, far side trip, knee block. Go ahead. These two guys haven't done this move. We'll try to coach them through it a little bit. Duck, far side trip, boom. It's a toss. Sometimes it ends up just being a run over kind of, but in here, if you do it correctly, he ends up flying through the air. Duck, far knee block. Duck, far knee block, taking a guy through. And here, actually, let me coach you a little bit here. I'm looking for a move, and all of a sudden I'm hitting the duck here, and then as he moves a little bit this way, I'm stepping deep right here, driving, and kind of running him over right there. If you hit it quickly, you get that weight going, it's almost like a sag where your situation, you're coming here, and just run him right over, just like that. Or you can stop, keep your hips under, and toss him like Bill is doing. The real key point here is when you hit this near side duck, you immediately have to go to a knee block. It can't be a step and then a knee block. It's got to be off the same action. From here, the guy moves, and as you step in, you take a big step and drive right there. So we'll try it one more time. Here we go. Duck, block. Nice. Not too bad. Not too bad. Very similar on this one. Duck to a knee block, but it's more of a bear hug where you just come up with your hips, set him up in the air, and toss him down. Nate Carr used to do this all the time. In fact, I think he did it like in a key match in the Olympic trials. So it's one of these things that if you're explosive, it really works. The other one was more like you get a better setup because the guy moves around. This one, you just come up, lift with your hips, and toss straight in. Duck, toss to the mat. A little bit high. Get a little bit lower. Get your hips under so when you come right in, he's already off the ground. And then toss immediately. One more time. That was a little low that time. Get up, pick him up. Get in there, lift it. Boom. There we go. Nice. Good lift.
Instead of ducking and lifting, two-time All-American John Ostendorp deep ducks and then body locks his opponent to the mat for the pin. And of course, to the fans' delight.
More key moves. This is off the 2-on-1. We've been spending a lot of time on this. We're going to do 3 or 4 basic moves here. 2-on-1 to a simple drag. And to a lift. Key on that one's to banging him and dragging the upper arm there. Or the lower arm actually comes up and drags. Do it again. Drag it by, toss, hit hard up in the back, come in with your hips, pick him up in the air, take him to the mat. Okay, good. A little motion there helps a lot of times. A little motion like pushing in, because that's when he pushes back. That's when you drag right there. That's when you come inside and set him down. A little motion always helps for setups in wrestling. Action, reaction. Okay, the second one's a little bit of a twist with a 2-on-1. Hip toss twist. Just get your 2-point takedown or your 1-point takedown if it's freestyle. This time we're going to actually do a hip toss from here. Just instead of one hip coming in, both hips are going to come in and bang, we're going to throw him right over to his back. 2-on-1, step in, toss, right on his back. Not too bad, not too bad. And then the last one is just going to be a trip. 2-on-1, maneuver the guy around to the point where you trip his foot with your own foot. Boom, take him right down. Good action. Let's do that one again. It's real simple, but you're, again, using your feet as hands. 2-on-1, maneuver a little bit, circle him, come right around. Sometimes you get in a position where you don't know what to do because you only have him by your arms, and you forget you have feet. Next key move is going to be a drive carry. This is a little bit different than a normal fireman's carry. It's one where you set your opponent up from the outside, you're coming in, and you're taking the elbow and the knee right together, and you just slide him right down, right to his back. Not much elevation or lift on this one. Let's do it again. Bill here is so used to picking up and throwing that he likes to get that elevation. This one can be just straight ahead, no lift at all. Straight, crunch the elbow to the knee. Boom. Not bad, not bad. You have to clear the head. One of the problems we have here is a lot of guys take carries and they get their head caught, and then it's a stalemate. You always pull your head back. One more time on this drive carry. Not bad, not bad. Looks good. Bill also does one that you really sky somebody off the same type of setup off the head. And we're going back again to these head ties. We're going back this, and that sets it up in motion. Nothing controlled, in motion. That's where your best chance of executing holds are. Now he's going to get the drive carry with a little bit of amplitude. Not much difference, except for just he's clearing the head up here as compared to before he's clearing the head down here by pulling the back. One more time. Amplitude carry. We're going right into what's called the same side pick, ankle pick. Most of the time you see people hitting head and ankle pick. This time we're going to hit head and same side. And at the same time we're going to pull that ankle out, and he's going to end up right on his rear. Same side pick. Off the head, down, boom. Once again. Moves him to where the weight's on the foot, reaches down, catches it, follows through. Not bad. Sanderson does that move very well. And if you can do outside and same side, you're really a double threat. We're going to finish up here with what's called the boot scoot. Of course, this is the boot right here, so we're going to try to show a move here that when an opponent is leaning off an elbow tie, you can get a leg tackle from a single to a double, or you can get a good duck where a guy almost lands on his head. We'll do two actions here. First one, the leg tackle. Off the elbow tie, boom, right to the double leg, single to double. That was good. Do it again. You have to have the guy coming in a little bit. You have to set him up off the elbow. Notice he falls right to his hip and he scoots. That's why it's called boot scoot. This time the guy's getting a little tireder and he's coming after and he's pushing, and now he's not even going to hit the leg tackle. He's just going to come up with a duck under, but the guy almost hits his head. He gets hurt. Pushing hard, scoot, come right around. Let's do that one again. This boot scoot is made famous by Lincoln McElravy. Good action. From the standing position, use the grips and moves we've shown in this video, and you'll gain the advantage on your opponent. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, but in life, both winners. When you're on the mat, you want to control your opponent from the top position and escape or reverse to avoid the bottom position. Using your hips, arms, and feet effectively makes you a better wrestler in either situation. In the top position, using your legs and jamming, along with arm bars and near wrists, allows you to control your opponent. As you can see from this footage, we didn't have to scrub the mat. after I wiped it clean by controlling my opponent. Although champion wrestlers don't find themselves in this position very often, they need to practice getting themselves out of tough spots, just like this escape artist. Like a Houdini, a wrestler on the bottom must use every part of his body to slip out of trouble. In this video, I'll share some effective advanced holds and skills for controlling your opponent on the mat and for escaping from those tough situations on the bottom. I'll be working with the Zadig brothers, Bill and Mike, both National Collegiate All-Americans and Freestyle Wrestling Champions for the highly successful Iowa Wrestling Program. They'll demonstrate the moves and drills that I've used over the years to help me and my wrestlers score quickly and effectively from the mat. Let's get started. As you notice here, we have Bill without a headgear, Mike with a headgear. Mike just finished his collegiate career. All through high school, all through college, headgear is required. Actually, in competition, it's required. In practices, it's going to start being required in college. In international competition, you just don't wear one. Bill does a lot more international. He's just starting his, and he'll have to take this thing off, believe that or not. Tries to prevent cauliflower ears. The other thing I recommend are mouthpieces, which both of these guys wear when they actually wrestle in practice and in competition. Okay, we're going to start and we're going to go in right to the arm bars. It's mostly just capturing, and we're going to capture it from the base position. This is probably a position that most people wouldn't even think about capturing arm bars. We're going to do a little drill here just for capturing the arms, getting them back, one and then the other. Bill here is going to do a little jamming action to a blanket ride, and then as he pushes back, he'll swing the arm back, get the elbow through back, and then he pushes back into him, he captures both of them, and right there he pushes him down. And basically, when you're in practice, you need to learn how to capture them, and that's our object right now, just to capture. Let's do it again. Blanket, jam in, bring it back, thread that needle, hip into him, take him right to the mat. Arm bars, double arm bars. Arm bars from down on the actual mat. We do the same drilling action, jamming into him. He's down. Covers the head, isolates the arm, he pulls it back, the guy rotates down, he catches the other one, ends up in a good, tight double arm bar. Let's do that again. Jam action, he's flat down, he isolates that arm by isolating the head there, no power there, gets it back with the elbow back, the guy rotates down, he swings it right up, he's got a controlled double arm bar right there. Another way of capturing arm bars is from a head post. And this head post puts the weight over here, and you isolate this side here. Reach all the way through with the back arm, and then now let your body kind of pull back, thread that arm. Now as he threads it, he'll pull down. You come up with your right arm and bring it back. Now we're going to do that again. Let go of this arm. This time when he has it there, I want his elbow to come back and use the elbow, slide it, and then thread it right there. Okay? So let's do it again. One more time. Head post. Arm comes all the way through. Real important for you to keep weight back over on his hip so he can't come up. Right there. Push. Keep a lot of weight over backwards. Walk back, thread it. As he comes forcing it down, you bring your elbow up, bring it back, and capture it right there. Once we get these arm bars tight, we need a post, one side or the other. Since he's on this side over here, we're going to turn him from over there. We're going to post this shoulder, and we're going to end up driving him over as he comes around. Lead with your right leg, get him up to the post, step the right leg over, and put the left leg up on his chest, and just kind of sag there. Now, a lot of times we won't get a fall here, but we'll get a near fall, and we'll get 3 extra points. So that's because the arms are so tight with 2 of them. If you really want to get a fall, you got to come back, and you do the same post with the double arms. You come up there, but now once you get that post, you pull the far arm out, and he posts it right here. Post it right here, and then he can come around and slide down chest to chest to get the fall over here to where the match is over. Okay, we got the double arm bars. This time we're going to add a little drill to the bottom man. It's called a swim drill. It clears the arms one at a time. He's going to come back in, knock the weight off, and swim one side, and he's going to come back to the other side and swim out. Go ahead. One arm, two arm. Let's do that again. Capture it real quick. Capture it real quick. Get those arm bars. It's an explosive move. If you're a little bit wet, it works well. It's called swimming. Now, we want to prevent this because this is the top man move, and when he feels the swimming action, he's going to crowd and really take advantage of stacking him. So as he comes back hard, you're going to run him. Boom, he's right there. Okay? Let's go. Let me show you one. Let me help you here. Let me help you. Okay? Double arm bars. I'm double arm bars here. He's coming back to swim. Come back to swim the arm out. Boom, run right there. See that? You actually load up just by going forward. If you stay back like this, he can swim out. But as he comes back, you just come forward. It stacks him. You can do it with a double arm, or right now, if I got a single arm bar on it, from here as he comes back in me, you just go forward. Right there it is. So now you end up there. You can come right around like you did before. You got your post, and you can get your fall. Single arm bar, we've already captured the single arm bar, and we got the post over here, which is sometimes difficult, but we have it already posted. Now, a transition can take place here. Instead of just turning with the arm bars, we got other avenues for pinning as well. Anytime you get a tight arm bar, you can actually maneuver around to the point where you stack him up, and then as you slide around off him, you can see that there's an avenue from an arm Turk. You got an arm bar and an arm Turk. They go back and forth. Smooth transition. You can either turn the guy by lifting here and running him over, or come right back, or you can pick the leg up and step in with a leg Turk. Pick it up, hook the leg, and you can Turk the guy right over to his back, just like that. That's a good transition. Arm bars, arm and leg Turks. Okay, we're going to go with legs in to capturing arm bars. Hardly anybody does this. And it's open on their side, it's open on the far side, it's open on both sides. It's just a matter of being able to use your power with your legs in. A lot of kids use legs, but they only use them for like turning with the legs. They don't realize that the arm bars are wide open when you put legs in. And Bill will demonstrate. He's got a leg in. When he puts the pressure forward, that takes his arm back and opens up this wide open. He can thread it right there, and then when he gets it, he'll roll down, and he rolls up and catches the other one right there. Double arm bar. Okay, go back again. Leg in again. This time he's going to isolate the head with the elbow, and now this side's weak, and he brings it back. Now the guy rolls, and now you captured the other one. So you have, again, singles to doubles, legs in on the near side, legs in on the far side. So they're wide open. It's just a matter of being able to understand that they're available. We're going to go in with the legs again on an arm bar. I call this the Steiner tilt. It's a far side arm bar. Isolate the head, bring it back, drive the guy forward, trap that arm, deep waist over here, but you roll the guy back up over so you can see where you can grab his wrist right here. And now you can just roll him right up for a tilt. Okay? Now, once you get your count or whatever, you can bring him back over again, back to his base, and roll the other way. And a lot of times they'll give you another set of back points right there when he rolls the other way. You got to learn to go one way, learn to go the other, then you're a double threat.
Off the armbar, once the hand is trapped, it's a pretty easy tilt. Sometimes you got to use a little bit of hip action to get that opponent over.
This next section is going to be finishes of arm bars, mostly from a single arm bar, and there's several ways of doing this. First one's going to be arm bar and far wrist. Bill's going to reach in. Once he gets it there, instead of pulling it under, I like to keep that thumb almost wrist deep. I like to have his hips drive him up over to that shoulder right there. And now obviously he'll turn him to that shoulder there. Now he can pull the arm out and come around chest to get the fall. Okay, again, we're going to go from an arm bar now to a half. That was a far wrist. Now we'll do a very similar move. Arm bar, jump across the far side, put pressure towards him on his head like this. The main thing is getting this guy's head down. Once you get his head down, now you roll him up, and then once you roll him up, you pull the arm out, and then you come around, chest to chest. You get the fall. More bar finishes. First one's going to be a cheap tilt, it's called. Anytime something's worth 3 points, I don't call it cheap, but it's a good tilt. Here we go. Arm bar, hip with the right hand, Bring him over on your hips, elevate with your leg here, get your count. As he rolls back down to his belly, because he doesn't want to stay on his back, you just kind of roll with him and end up in a Dave Schultz post to the far side since the arm's under. There's this post that's isolating the head. Now you come off the legs, keep the weight backwards, and come right around chest to chest, get the fall.
Here, Terry Brands uses Olympic and world champion Dave Schultz's patented armbar to punish his opponent.
A couple more finishes here, this time from the double arm bars. At least we start from there. First one, we'll be keeping the double arm bars. We're going to go into a stacked position. It's tough to pin somebody here, but you can go either way. But since he's on that side, he'll stack him up on this shoulder and roll around his head and get a good stack action. Could get a fall here, but it's pretty difficult. A lot of times it's hard to get this inside shoulder down. Therefore, you only end up getting 3 points because it's so tight. Now come back. Start again. This time we're going to do the double arm bar. We're going to go to a figure four head and trap his leg. We're going to start out with a double arm bar. We're going to come around. We're going to post this shoulder. Once we get to post, we're going to have some little more space. So we're going to pull this arm out just like we did before, and we posted here. And we're going to come across. We're going to figure four. Lead with the heel. Scoop up the head. Scoop that head up. Get that head up there. And lock it up. It's a little bit difficult. You lock it up right there. It's got to be in there. And now once you get that there, you come under the near side, over top the far side at the knee, and you hit an arch, and that puts the shoulders down. And I'll tell you once you get here, there's not much this guy can do. His shoulder blades will be glued to the mat.
An old-timer here loved using this armbar and figure four to pin his opponents.
We're going to review capturing the near wrist. This goes back to the Essentials tape where we actually did a hip spiral and then we ran him over his wrist and captured it. All right? Review it. Go ahead. Hip spiral, arm, run right over there. Do it again. One more time. Hip spiral, there's the arm, runs right over, capture that near wrist. Now, a key thing here is we're going to add to it, which makes it more advanced, is as he captures that, as he knocks him over to the side, this time as he reaches in to capture it, instead of running him straight here, as he runs him, he's going to put the weight over on the far side to make sure that he actually gets this shoulder, the pivot point. Just like in the arm bars, you have to have a pivot point. You have to have a pivot point in the near wrist. So when you're running forward, you put a lot of weight on that far side. Right there, just like that. So that isolates the shoulder. Otherwise, the referee becomes involved.
Capturing the near wrist requires two hands and leg drive. But once captured and pursued, can lead to other holds, like arm bars.
Okay, we're going to go into a drill. It's actually a flow drill. It's named after a guy named Fedzayev from the Soviet Union. He used to turn a lot of people with this near wrist, but he did it all in one action, one flow, and it's more of a drill where there's no stopping. It's not parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just one move. Bill's going to execute it. Fedzayev, flow drill. Good. Let's do it again. That was excellent. Notice he gets to that pivot point immediately because he doesn't stop. Puts all the weight over there. Near wrist, drives it over, puts the weight over there, uses his legs and hips and runs him right over. He automatically gets a fall.
Three-time All-American Chad Zapital demonstrates good leg power and lift to the finish of Russian great Arsen Fedzayev's patented near wrist action.
Oftentimes on a near wrist, this shoulder is up. So we're going to show a little movement here that's going to put this shoulder down and at the same time turn his head to get that post. Got the near wrist this time instead of arm bar, and we're going to push over there to get that weight over there. See how his arm rolled? Now once you get there, you bring the near leg out, you turn it and you lift at the same time. Turn it, keep pushing. Now once you bring it up, you can thread it. And now instead of running it over, you kind of go back down underneath it, turning, try to get the fall. A drill here that we use off near wrist is to make sure that we can get some angles and some posts. And so what we do is we come up and we block with both knees on each side of the head right there. And the reason why I call it a bolt drill is because I'm screwing my knees together. Like a bolt here, comes out there. Now, it doesn't go through the guy's head. It goes through his ears, obviously. But it comes out the other side, and you really pinch them tight right there. And as you pinch them tight, now you got a good feel for it. It's kind of like this Bela Glazov drill we used in an earlier tape, where now he comes up with his hips because there's no weight there, and all he's going to do is kind of catch there and use his legs to tip him over. Now he comes back up. Now tilt him the other way. Come back up. You've got to be really tight here. You've got to use your hips, just like that. And use your hand to help knock him over. Because it's real key to do that, because once you get a guy there, now you can always thread him and get the fall. Because if you can't get him over in that post, then you'll never get a fall. So this bolt drill, I'll tell you, it can get brutal. It can get brutal. This tilt is going to be the opposite way that you normally go. We're trying to pull this near wrist out. We're trying to come around the head, but he's real flexible. He's keeping that shoulder down. This shoulder's up. He's over-exaggerating because he knows I want to pull this out. And then all of a sudden you go with it, a real cheap tilt real quick, just catch him right there and hold him on his back. You're not going to get a fall, but you're going to get some counts here, and you'll get back points. Okay, we're going to get in a situation here where he's got a near wrist, but he's not able to do anything with it except hold it there because the guy really has a lot of weight over on it, over here. And so what he's going to have to do is go back to this head post drill, and he's going to be able to reach under. He might have to lift even a little bit with his leg here to get it up, and then he pulls it out and puts it on his back 90 degrees. Let's back up a little so you can see it. When you pull it out, kind of back off and put it down. Do it again. Near wrist, head post, reach it out and put it right in 90 degrees. Now, the rule is you have to be no more than 90 degrees right here. If you go more than 90 degrees, it's illegal. So you have to keep it tight there. That's why when you pull it out, you immediately cover it a little bit in case it is past 90 so nobody sees it. But really, you don't want it to go past 90 because it's not effective. One of the first things you do from there is you can come back off of it, and you can thread it, actually lift it up a little bit and thread the deep half there. Make sure this arm goes in tight right there. Then you just drive the guy right over, which you can go to a fall there. It's a fine line there, whether you're legal or illegal. If you start lifting it, put the arm behind the back. If you start lifting it straight up, back off a little bit, that's illegal. You cannot lift it this way. All you need to do is lift it up a little bit with this arm here. Straighten it out, actually. You straighten it out, and then you thread it. Then that'll help you end up be able to keep it legal. Keep it legal. All right? Another one. Have the arm behind the back. Arm is behind the back. Post it. He's coming up there. You just come around front. Post, come under the far arm. Lock it up. And then you just kind of, you got to stay tight and come around, catch the head, put him right to his back. Now, that's a real simple one that you can do. But you need to know how to go around front, and that's where that post drill comes into effect sometimes, where you really can pinch the head. Another one is simply from the near wrist, when you get it on the back, is when he comes up a little bit, you can step right over with your leg. Come up, step right over, and just continue to drive. Just continue to drive with your leg. You can actually tilt him. Just tilt him over. All he did was step over with his leg and drive across.
Controlling the near wrist behind the back can often lead to a leg step over for even more control, and sometimes a fall.
Okay, we have the arm behind the back again. It's isolated. It's not past 90. And now all we're going to do is come around behind, and we're going to switch hands, and we're going to thread the arm for an arm bar right there. You see what he did? Start that again. He has the arm. He switched hands there. As he comes around behind, now he can thread the arm bar. Now as the guy gets this, he'll come back and he'll thread the other one. So now we end up with double arm bars, and we're back to our finishes again, where we turn them with a stack, double stack, or we let it go and go one. But this is a good position, and we saw a lot of finishes earlier. We're going to go in to the tight near wrist underneath to some cheap tilts. 2-pointers, 3-pointers. First one's going to be at the hip. He's pushing in, the guy comes up with the hip, and he just knees in and rolls him over. Gets his 5 count. Okay, go back over. So he has the same near wrist. This time, the guy's kind of squirming around a little bit, and he comes in the crotch this time. He actually locks the hands underneath. He'll get the hand locked, and now you can see it in a minute when he rolls him up. Rolls him right up, you'll see those hands locked right there. See, got the near wrist and the hand locked, and he gets his 5 count. Now, as he rolls back over, he's going to go back to that Fazayev flow drill. He's going to end up taking him the other way. He's going to come right back in, run him right over, going to get his fall that way. So these things work in transition, just like the arm bars did. We go to another near wrist, but we're going to go to a half Nelson on the far side. Mike's reacting a little bit. He opens that far half up. He puts it there, but then he pins it tight and runs it to the mat. So he has this point there. Now he can drive him over and end up in a real deep half, which gets a fall almost every time. Okay, this one is really a different move. It's called a bar Nelson on the head with the leg in. But it goes back to kind of the arm bars. Many people don't realize when you have legs in, it opens up a lot of arm bars and near wrists. So we're going to leg in, and we're going to bar this half right here. Here and here. And as he's putting pressure on him, Mike's going to roll to the right. As he rolls, that hand came right under, which puts him an opportunity to get a near wrist, and he goes right into the flow drill real quick. Push him right through and run him over. It's real simple. But let's do it again. Let's do it again. I'm going to let more flow. Leg in, bar Nelson. He resists with the bar. He rolls his arm right under. You roll right through there. Push hard with the head. Roll him right through. There he is. Perfect. Arm Turks and leg Turks. We're going to use it from the base position. Mike's going to be on the bottom. Bill's going to be on top. We're going to attack from referee's position. Arm Turks and leg Turks. These holds are definitely excellent as well from the standing position off leg tackles. High crotches, you can go right into arm Turks and leg Turks to get near fall points, and of course you can end up with falls. So we'll start here with Mike in the down position. Bill's going to be on top. All he's going to simply do is going to reach down to the outside ankle. He's going to trap that. He's going to reach through. He's going to catch there, or he can even come to the inside right here, right over top there. He's going to drive with his shoulder. Keep his shoulder in. Drive him over to his hip. At the same time, he already has an arm in. Now he's got to switch to the right arm. That is his arm Turk arm. Now he can overhook here and pick up the knee and drive over for back points. Or, as he comes right back, instead of just using the arm, he can step the leg in. Heel all the way in deep. Heel all the way in deep here. He can pull this arm out and then overhook and drive him over for back points. Arm Turks and leg Turks from the base position. That's just one position. Second one is simply picking up the near leg up in the air and then stepping right in with the leg and taking him exactly the same way over. Third one, a real, not a mistake, but a maneuver the bottom position does. He reaches up and grabs a wrist. Once you do that, you capture it. Come to the side and do the same move. Lift the inside leg, step in with the Turk, hook the leg. You got the leg Turk. Now that we've walked through these arm and leg Turks, we're going to go back and start over again. We're going to do them at a quicker pace. Far ankle trap. Hit it hard, drive in there, pick it up, switch over, arm Turk, or come right back with the leg Turk, okay? Back to the base position. This time, lifting and driving with the near leg lift. Coming right in, Turking right there. And lastly, of course, trapping the arm, takes away the post right here. Same type thing. He grabs a hand, grabs it, picks it up, goes right to his back. You get back points immediately. A variation off this arm Turk, when you're trying to pin the young man, is the bottom man kind of panics and he tries to roll through. As he rolls through, Bill here catches him in what's called an over and under. Navy right out east, Osage here in the Midwest, and he pushes him here and he picks him up, and as he's trying to pin him, he panics again, he rolls back the other way, so he drops back down to this arm Turk. And again, he panics, so he goes back the other way. Now he catches him here, and now he'll just pick him up and drop down, and eventually he'll catch a fall there, even though it runs back and forth.
Here, world and Olympic champion Tom Brands is making body and chest adjustments to his opponent's squirming, which will tighten the position, leading to a fall.
We're into arm Turk finishes into pinning combinations. First one's going to be real simple. Arm Turk, Bill's going to half Nelson here. Notice how he puts the pressure here hard down on the shoulder, and then he obviously picks a knee and just drives him right over. It's a simple pin. Okay. Secondly, arm Turk, This time he's going to catch an elbow here and shoulder and do an arm bar there as he lifts and twists, takes a guy over with an arm bar. And sometimes this actually arm bar will end up on the back as well, all the way through. Simply from there, right to there on top there. Okay, third, we're going to have an arm Turk, deep waist. Deep waist, all the way. Sometimes you have to jerk a little bit to get him up in the air so you can get a deep waist right on the hip there, and you twist and keep your shoulder in tight. And he kind of twists him right over, corkscrews him right over to his back, just like that. Okay, and then lastly, arm Turk and lift. When the guy's really tight and he's crawling forward a little bit, all you do is stop his momentum there, and you just jerk him in the air with your hips and legs, take him straight over, stack him up right into a cradle situation right here. Lock it up, cradle, on his back fall. Now we're going to do the arm Turk finishes at a more regular speed. You got to remember also that that arm Turk has to be wrist deep, not finger deep, down in here. And then when you're doing these turns up here, you got to make sure that you control so he doesn't slide forward with that near hand. Okay, arm Turk half. Boom, right over. Arm Turk, arm bar. Pull that behind him. Twist it, run him right over. Arm Turk, deep waist. Twist it. Arm Turk, he crawls forward and lift him and take him right over and stack him into a cradle. Boom, right up in the air. Right there. One thing to look out for in arm Turks is a situation that I want to make sure that the top man's aware of, and that's keeping a deep shoulder. Just like when you shoot high crotches and you cut corners, you got to keep your shoulder in. So go ahead, Bill. Go for the ankle. See, right here, it's real important that this shoulder, actually it's his back shoulder, to stay in. As he drives him over, he's going to try to switch. Okay, he's going to try to switch there. Now, he actually can just come right around if he doesn't get if the shoulder comes out, he comes right around. All right, so now we're going to do it again. He's going to keep the shoulder in tight. He's going to go for the switch, but he's going to stop him. All right, hit it. Yeah, see how he ends up? We're going to show this in a different angle to make sure you understand. Going for an arm Turk here on the leg. As he comes around, he goes for the inside switch, and he keeps his shoulder in there, keeps him isolated so he can't get his hip out. We're going to do some top control from sit-outs and switches into pinning. And when I say sit-out and switches, it's really the same. Because when somebody switches, as he switches, you just move around behind him a little bit and you end up in a sit-out. So we're mostly going to work from the sit-out. Okay, start again here. First one's going to be a snapback. Mike here does these a lot when people sit out on him. Go ahead. Sits out, he comes to double unders, and he makes way by leave space, moves back, pulls him back, and then usually his shoulder's still up here because he's kind of holding him up with his arms, so he has to make a transition with the outside arm there over top the head, and he locks it up and gets a fall. Okay, let's do it at a faster pace here. Set out, snap back, boom, and then switch off. Looks good. Okay, let's go right into another situation of this set out and switch. This is called a crunch cradle. He hits the set out, Bill hits the set out, he comes up and crunches the head down to the knee, and he comes around, makes space for the shoulder, brings it back, puts him right on his back. If he makes it a good adjustment, the shoulder should be down flat. The next one, right off this crunch, and this time he comes around, that's the cradle. This one is a little variation. We had a young man named Jeff McGinnis do this quite often. Hit it there, push in, drop the head around, pick up the knee and pick up the leg and take him straight back right there, just like that. Let's do it again. Let's do that one again. Let's get more of a turn. Come right around. Once you get there, you're in the set out, you crunch into him and come right there. Very good, very good. Then lastly, he hits a switch and he's just going to pull the arm out and then he's going to pancake. He hits the switch, pull the arm out, and pancake him right down. Just like that. One more time on the last one. You've got to make sure that you make an adjustment on this with your head. Comes around, put the head to the inside, bang him right down. He ends up in a headlock, actually. Okay, we're going to do some attacking from the top position off the bottom wrestler's stand-ups. whether he does an inside stand-up or whether he does an outside stand-up. So we're going to hit cradles. Inside cradle on the inside stand-up and the outside cradle on the outside stand-up. So we'll start off with the inside. Bill, inside stand-up, comes up in the air, crunches his head down to the knee. Now he's got to get this leg under. Actually, put it right on his leg there. Put it right on his leg, right there. And he gets elevation, takes him all the way over, and comes all the way up on top. Come all the way on top. There's no shoulder there, only mat, and he gets a fall. Why don't you hit that just one more time, inside cradle. Just do the whole thing on your own. Just one good time. Outside cradle is the next one. Bottom man comes up with an outside leg. The key is to come up, go ahead, and crunch that head down, and then make the adjustments right there, and then take him back. And make your adjustment so your shoulder can come down in. All right, let's do that one more time. Make sure that you crunch the head, come up, get elevation, crunch the head down. Outside leg, stand up. Boom. There you go. Outside cradle, inside cradle, outside cradle. This last action is going to be from a stand-up. It's illegal, I believe, in high school, and in college it's looked upon as a potentially dangerous situation because you can really use this guy's momentum on a stand-up and you pop your hips under, and you really go back to what Mike did earlier to a snapback on a set-out. So we'll go ahead and try it. The Joe Williams Flight School, off a stand-up. And you can see Mike actually controlled it pretty well. You can see where it could be a little dangerous. And if it gets out of control, the referee would call it a slam or illegal move. Let's do it one more time. Off the stand-up. You don't want to wait. You don't want to stop and then hit it. That's two moves. You want to hit it right when he comes up with his momentum as he lifts. We're going to show a couple actions from side rolls and Granbys. First one's a very common mistake that's made when someone hits a side roll where he grabs their arm, he throws the half, he gets his hips too high and gets rolled through, and he ends up getting reversed to his back. See, that's what happens when he gets out of position. So we're going to come back and show how to stop a side roll with a sagging hip and a half Nelson. Counter a roll by sagging and posting the hand on the right side and then taking him right over. Okay, let's go into a Granby roll, which obviously you know what a Granby roll is because you watch the Essentials tape, but hit a quick Granby. Boom, there's a Granby roll for 1 point. This time, Bill here is going to stop that Granby and stack him right on his head as he hits it. Boom, it's right there. Just called a stack. Let's do it again. Just kind of flow those hands out, both of them as he comes there and catch the hips. Just right there. Good. Here's another good little tilt. It's called an outside ankle neck bar, and it's an old Arizona State wrestler used to do it all the time. It's simply off a jam, and then you just kind of stack the guy right on his back. Jam him, outside ankle, neck bar, hook it under the arm, and just kind of hip into him and pop him right to his back, right there. Okay, let's do it again, one more time. Get all those actions. Jamming, hipping in, hooking the neck bar, popping up. Yeah, real good, real good.
Tom again demonstrates how quickly one can go from riding to a quick tilt, leading to back points.
We're going to carry on into the bottom position. A lot of our action was done with hip heist action in the Essentials. And Bill here will, again, just review the hip heist real quick. It's whether you're on your base position or on your butt, he just hits a quick hip heist back and forth, just like this. It's great counters for takedowns, and it's also great action for switching, escaping, reversing. What we're going to do here is we're going to do a inside-outside switch hip action here, just to show you this drill here. He actually goes, instead of coming all the way through, he just goes to a switch, comes back, goes the other way. So he's doing inside switch and outside switch right at the same time. Just like this. Right back and forth. Right back and forth. Keep it going. Okay, good. Now another good shadow wrestling drill is to simply hit a stand-up. We call this a Japanese stand-up, where you're actually putting your feet where your knees are. And notice he's standing up here or sitting down, but he's got his back straight, he's got his arms behind his back, not going to use his hands, just going to put his feet where his knees are, and he's going to do it 8-10 times just to show you a good drill there. Go ahead. Boom, right down. Boom, right down. Very important that you have a mat underneath so you don't wear on your knees there. Knee pads. It's a good drill that we use right there. Good action. We've had a lot of emphasis on hip heist action, switching outside, switching inside. We're going to go to the switching on the inside position. Bill here is going to set it up by just crawling forward about a foot. Then as Mike reaches in, he's going to hit his switch, inside switch action. Come around, end up in the crotch. Okay, do it again. It's very important for Bill here to make sure when he gets his hips out that he follows through with a good hip heist action, not where he's just pushing in, that he's bringing his legs out. Okay, hit it. Good, real good. Right along with this is a first step of an inside leg stand-up. Where that first leg comes up, the bottom guy will be actually dropping down. It's very similar. Now he hits that inside switch, comes right around. Again, one more time. These are two setups, crawling forward once and then inside leg stand-up, coming right around, getting the hip out and coming up, ending up in the crotch, not around the waist.
Here, national champion Chris Bono takes advantage of his opponent's positioning to score an inside switch to help even things up.
Okay, this action looks a little bit fancy, but in reality it's a very good escape or reverse for the man that does the switch. What happens is Bill's going to do a switch. He's going to step over, which it's kind of a last resort for the top man, a step over, but it does work sometimes, but he also knows what to do when he does step over. So we'll hit a switch, comes around, he's starting to step over, they're scooting, and he just rolls right up and comes up on top. So he ends up with a reversal. Let's do it again. I'm going to let you do it on your own. Let's get let's get in a good little action fight there where you're actually trying to step over and trying to scoot. 3 or 4 times. Ready? Hit it. Step, step, step. Stay in there. Stand there. Boom, boom, boom. Good job. This is going to be a drill. It's called the switch, re-switch drill. We're also going to add some variations after the first initial switch, re-switch. All right? Hit it. Couple more times, guys. Good. Okay, let's go right in to the switch, re-switch drill, and we're going to end up with a winner. And he's going to do what's called a hip heist at the end to win. Couple, 3, 4 times, then hip heist. Switch, re-switch, switch, re-switch, switch, re-switch. Now, let's hip heist right out. All he did, instead of coming around on top, he did that hip heist drill movement where you set your hip and leg under, and you're out for 1. We're continuing to show the switch, re-switch drill, but now we're going to add, when you roll him through to win, to come up on top. We're staying with the switch action. We're going to do a couple combinations here. We're going to do switch and then hip heist once his hips are sucked in. And then we're also going to do switch, his hips are sucked in, and then we're going to do a reach back type of toss from there. We're going to get an escape and a reverse. Okay, let's do it kind of slow so I can talk you through it. Switch, he sucks his hips in, and now he just does a hip heist through, just right out. Notice how he throws that arm over and hip heists them hips out. Okay, secondly, he's going to do a switch, going to get his hips sucked in, he's going to come in, he's going to come back to a reach back, he hooks the lats here, and he hooks up front and steps over for a fall. Now let's do it in live action. Switch, hip heist, switch, reach back. Ready. Hit it. Switch, hip heist, switch, sucks the hips in, reach back, toss, step across, pin. We're going to take this similar type action that we just did on the mat. We're going to move it to a higher level on the feet. Bill here is going to hit a stand-up, and he's going to look for hip heist escapes, he's going to look for reach back reversals, and he's going to look for whizzer escapes or reversals. So we'll walk through it at first. Bill hits a stand-up, he's up, he fakes a little motion for a switch, and he comes out to his hip heist for 1-point escape. That little fake there threw him off a little, give him a chance to move his hips. Second one, he's going to come up here, and he's going to fake a little bit. Now he's going to do a reach back right there. He catches the lat back here, he hooks there. He's going to actually, you can go ahead and toss him easily from there. And he tosses him to the mat for a reversal, and you get a guy on his back. And then lastly, we're going to go do what's a real common escape from there. It can be on the mat or on the feet. He hits a stand up here, comes up, he does a little fake action, he comes to a whizzer action, and just follows through. Okay, let's put them together now in a little bit more live action. Stand up, hip heist, stand up, reach back, toss, stand up, whizzer. Ready? Hit it. Stand up, 1 point escape, hip heist. Stand up, fake a switch, hit a reach back, toss, boom, right to his back. That one's a little dangerous. You have to watch that one. And the last one's the whizzer. Again, you get that fake hip action. Stand up, you fake one way or the other, you get a whizzer, toss it, escape, and you're out for one. We're going to have a little close-up action here to make sure you understand where the hands go, whether it be on the lat or the head and the arm. So we're in this switch position. Bill's going to reach back. As he reaches back, he catches the arm right here, right there. And if you turn him a little bit here, you can see where he catches the lat right here. Or he can also let go and catch the head right there. The same action can be down on the mat. Go down to the mat. Go ahead and do your reach back. You can see where he has a lat here. Of course, the hand's over here. But if he wants to, he can drop it to the head right there. Now, one of the things is, if we can move it around a little bit here, a different angle right here, what happens if you take just the head, Mike can roll him through as he takes him right there. Now roll back, get right back up here. Or from here, he can actually, as he rolls him down, he can scoot and come up on top. That's why. Let's get back there again. Here's what you want to do. You want to eliminate that action. As you roll with the neck, Bill's going to pull the arm out and post and go right into a headlock, which will eliminate that roll or scoot action. The next action is going to be a stand-up to a standing roll. Bill here is going to hit a stand-up. Mike does a good job of coming in and countering. He brings him up with his hips underneath him. Now he's going to sag and hook an ankle right there. Just an ankle, and he's going to walk a couple steps and then fly through the air. Now he's going to do a hip heist action, come around for a fall or reversal. All right, let's do it again. Okay, we'll do this in a little bit live action. Ready? Hit it. He's up there, he's pulling him in, he's flying through the air, just like that. Very good. We're going to get into what's called standing Granby. It can actually keep an athlete from getting any points scored against him, like you're going to see right here. Mike's going to hit an arm drag, he's going to come around, pick him up, and he's going to try to score an easy takedown, but Bill's going to Granby right out before there's any even action. No points. Can also start from the bottom position. Now he's going to get an escape because he's coming up to a stand-up. Mike's going to pick him right up, and he just Granby's right out, gets 1 point escape. So it can be neutral or it can be 1 point.
A former Iowa State wrestler uses the standing Granby to break away from his Hawkeye opponent.
That same Granby action we just witnessed, we can also add to that kind of a front roll, which Mike will demonstrate here in an escaping position, but you can remember also it can be done from a neutral position as well. Bill pushes into him hard, he just hits a front roll and they come up scrambling neutral. Or here, 1 point for an escape.
Here, the forward roll eliminates the scoring of a potential takedown.
Okay, we're going to get into a stand-up and then the old lifting drill. And it's actually a lift to take him back to the mat. This time, Bill's going to show how he stops that lifting action. Okay, hit a stand-up, come up. As he tries to lift him, he hooks right there. That's good action right there to keep him from getting lifted up in the air. He tries to lift him, he can't get him up in the air. So finally, if Bill wants to, he can just lean and hit that side roll right there. Get a reversal. This last action is going to be a stand-up into another roll. And Bill here is going to actually hit a stand-up and hit a standing Granby type action where he counters Mike's lift. Okay, go ahead and stand up here. Mike comes around the lift. He reaches around. He has to step out in behind. He has the roll wrist here. and he hits the roll. Ends up with back points and a reversal. Okay, let's come back in and let's do it at a liver pace here. He hits the stand-up, he comes right around and whips him right to his back, just like that. This next series involves, when you look at it, it just looks simple. But it's really quite complicated if you don't do the simple things. And that's just making sure you get to the inside, get the guy over your arm, and also just being able to hip into him a little bit to get the weight off of you. Those are simple things, but the move becomes complicated if you don't do those. Here's what we do. From the bottom, he pushes back, the weight's off, he gets him over, and all he has to do is reach through, reach back, and he's out. That's simple. Okay, we can do the same thing from the upper level. He's got around the waist, he pushes his hands down, gets the elbow to the inside, and then all of a sudden he just reaches through, just like that. Okay, let's do it down at a quicker pace and escape. Sit back, reach through. Ready. Hit it. Boom. Good, good, real good. Okay, let's do it from the stand-up now. He's up high. Go ahead and get up. Actually, start from down there, get your stand-up, and then do it from there. Ready? Hit the stand-up, push down, reach right through, and he's out. Real simple. He's over the arm, and you dig, and you're out. We're going to do a little countering or escaping and reversing to a crab ride off a set-out. Mike's going to crab ride off Bill's set-out. Go ahead. Then once he gets here, Bill here is going to come back and isolate this guy's head and bridge back into him and just end up coming out for an escape right there, or a reversal. He's also going to do the same thing. That was one-hand isolation. This time he's going to do a two-hand isolation and hit a high bridge and hip ice through. He scooted down and hip ice it right through for a reversal. And you'll get a fall here. Okay, let's do it quick now. Set out, crab ride, one-hand isolation, and then two-hand isolation. Ready? Hit it. One-hand isolation, boom. Spin right through there. Good. Let's go right back down. Set out, crab ride, two hands, come right back around, reversal to a fall.
Hits away, hits away.
Simply listening to your coach can result in escaping the crab ride.
What we're doing here is Mike has a strong power leg in here, and he can really apply a lot of pressure to Bill's back and legs and almost try to turn him. What happens is Bill needs to ease a little pressure, so when he's putting the power there, he's going to bring a knee forward. That just isolates and takes a lot of pressure off this. At the same time now, instead of rolling him, he kind of pushes back and puts him in a position where he can high leg over and get a reversal or an escape right there. Okay, let's do that fast. Mike has the leg in. This is clearing legs. He has the legs in. He's strong. He's a power leg. He's cranking on him. And he eases the pressure, and then he just rolls him right backwards and comes up right across the hip. So it's kind of like a high leg over series as well. We can see here Mike has a power figure four on the Bill's leg. And what we're going to do here is have Bill, with his free leg and ankle, reach up and peel off that figure four, and then he'll come right into a position where he can build his base to get an escape or reverse. Okay, let's try it again. Power leg in. And again, you got to remember, you have to sometimes use your feet like their hands. So you got to unhook this. So his feet comes in, breaks it, and builds a base. Here we have a position with top man with both legs in. He's a little high. It could have started from the top position, or it could have started from a takedown position, but he's trying to hang on. Bill on the bottom is going to tripod up, or kind of both legs up here, and he's going to try to shake him to get him off. He's not quite off yet, so he's kind of like going to roll him over and isolate the head, hit the back bridge here, just like we did in the crab ride, and hip ice through and get his reversal and his pin. Let's do it one more time, real quick. Trying to break him down to the mat with both legs in, up in the air with his butt, shakes him, feels like, isolates the head, rolls through, hip ice through, gets the reversal and the pin. What we have here for clearing legs is Mike has a cross body. He's across the body with a leg in. He's hanging to the far side. Bill's going to do a hip heist action to the inside. He's going to actually do a swivel action to get a reversal here. Comes to the inside. It's like switching action. He gets here, and then he has to swivel again quickly to come up on top. If you get there again quickly, and he swivels the first time through, and he doesn't stop and doesn't try to get this elbow through. What happens is he just lifts his leg there and puts him right back on his back. So the second move right here is really important. You swivel and hip heist quick right through to come up on top. Let's do it all at once. Cross body. 2 swivels in a row. Ready? Hit it. Boom, boom. Right up. Good. Action. Okay, we got Mike here with a cross body. This is a Deanna ankle trap. Mike Deanna reversed him with this ankle right here. He kept trapping his ankle and came back into him like the same action. Swivel, swivel again. Got to reverse it. One more time. You do it on your own once you get it. It's a little complicated, but it works pretty well. Ankle trap. Boom, boom. Perfect. What we have here is another cross body with the ankle hooked here. Bill's going to come up in the air with it. As he comes up in the air, you can see the ankle still hooked. And what he's going to do here, he's going to hit a shoulder roll over here. We kind of call it a mule kick roll. And the reason why is because you got to straighten this leg out strong to clear this ankle right here. So you end up, otherwise you'd end up in the same position after you'd roll. But this, if you mule kick this leg, you clear that ankle and he can clear it. Go ahead and try it. Okay, let's go one more time, guys. Cross body in, elevate the hips, ankles hooked. Now Bill has to roll and really mule kick this leg out to be able to get out. Boom. Clears that leg and they both are in neutral position. Mike here is riding Bill's ankle. Common ankle hook ride, which a lot of athletes really don't know how to get out. In the essentials, we hipped in and did a hip heist set out action. Here, it's a little bit more complicated. This one's actually going to be a roll back into him where he traps the ankle again right here. He comes over and he traps him so he can't fall and he hits right there. Now to clear this foot here, he kicks here on the knee, comes out to a high leg over and gets a fall. One more time. Ankle's hooked. Now you got to remember he's hooking over here on the wrist, cross wrist or near wrist, and now he's hooking the ankle. He's whipping him over to clear it. He hits there and he comes right out. Okay, one more time. Let's do it fast. I'll let you guys do it. Rolling back, whipping, pop it, and come right through. Talk about action. We have some good action here. The top man's going to pick up an ankle rider right here, around the waist, ankle, and he's picking it up and trying to drive, and Bill here is going to go with it and try to high leg over. Boom. Gets right on his hips and just high legs right over and gets a reversal and a fall. Sometimes in this action, because it's such a scramble, and he doesn't quite get over on his hip, on his chest, he ends up coming over, he ends up right there, he just scrambles away for one. Okay, let's do it fast though. Let's do it at real time. High leg over or scramble, whatever is comfortable. Hit it, drive, boom, scramble away for one, good. Let's do it again, let's end up getting over there on, trap that chest. Pick that ankle up, drive him a little bit, go lift the ankle and run it back over, come right over and get the reversal. Okay, not too bad. Now, key thing on that, let's go back one more time, is to remember when you have to elevate that leg when he picks it up. When he picks that leg up, as he's driving, you have to really hip into him and elevate it. Boom. That knocks him right over, and then you get your points. Okay, these aren't for everybody, especially if you haven't done a lot of wrestling, because they're a little bit against the basics. But if you're a good wrestler, you can hit some moves from any positions. In this position, Mike is going to be going over the arm a little bit, which is a mistake in wrestling. Bill's going to capitalize it and hit an arm throw there, and then high leg way out, way over, just to get a reversal. Okay, let's do it one more time fast. Let's get a good whip and a good high leg over. He's over the arms, he jams him forward, he arm throws him hard, and comes right over, and there he has him right in his back. Okay, this action is going to be when a guy on top gets a little high on his riding and he clears the hips back here, which gives Bill here a chance to step right over and hook a leg and get a reversal. Okay, so Mike's going to jam him forward. He gets a little high, clears the hips, he steps right over. Now the key is to hooking this leg in, because usually when you step over hips, the bottom man can raise it and put a guy right on his back. But if you hook the leg, he can't do that, and he'll just keep driving him over and gets a reversal. Okay, I'm going to show you what I mean, though, when you don't hook the leg. Watch this. Bill's going to end up, he's going to come here, he's going to step over, Mike's going to pop him right in the air, and take him right to his back. That's what happens when you don't hook that leg. So here we go again. Bill's going to get the job done. He's riding high a little bit, he frees his hips, steps over, hooks that leg, and now takes him this way. And actually, he can get a reversal there, or if he can stay right in here, he can actually get a reverse half and take him right to his back. This last escape or reversal is when Mike gets a little high. He gets his ankle too close to Bill, and so Bill sees an opportunity to grab it, but instead of hanging on like a lot of people do, and then they end up getting ridden, he's going to pick it up. When he picks it up, it's easy to get the high leg, and the high leg will win an escape or reverse. Let's do it again. Mike gets a little high, gets his foot close, Bill comes back, picks it up, comes right around, gets a reversal. And now we're going to show a drill. This drill is a similar situation. Bill's coming back, picking up the ankle, but now not only is he going to come up with it, but Mike is also going to be trying to hang on to the ankles down here. Same way. So he comes up, now Mike hangs on, comes around, picks up the ankle. Now Bill comes around, picks up, comes around, grabs the ankle. Now Mike comes around, picks up, comes around. Now Bill comes around, picks up the ankle. And this could go on forever, but right now it's mainly a drill, and it's a great scramble action in wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen,
both wrestlers are in a merry-go-round. Consequently, nobody gains or scores.
If you can master these techniques on the mat, you'll be tough to defeat in any match. Escaping from the bottom and controlling your opponent from the top will have you cleaning up your competition.
Some of my best teams have been the teams that have had a group that were made up of a lot of leaders. And so in recruiting, if you can get those leaders, that makes a big difference. When you have no leaders, then it goes back to you. And then you have to go out and recruit them, or you have to become the leader to get something accomplished. I don't think I ever stood in front of my group of athletes in a 25-year period and never or ever told them that, like, well, if we didn't do this, you could do this. I only directed what we were going to do, and we only had one option, and there wasn't these other options out there. It's kind of like if we were in a position to win, we had to take advantage of that opportunity. It wasn't like, well, we'll go and see how we're going to do. It was never that way. There was one option and one option only. And then all of a sudden I learned that there are more options out there when I got away from coaching. And then it made me realize how easy it was for me to be successful, because a lot of programs talk about other options, and I never did that. I've been pretty much of a horse with blinders. I've kind of focused on family, focused on my profession, focused on my athletic career. And I'll tell you, I think with family support and the focus day to day, those two things have given me the opportunity to really excel at a high level, not only as a person, but in my profession, and be able to get other people to perform. And I'll tell you, when that happens, that's even more meaningful than when you had a chance to perform at the highest level. Because there's just, it's not within your control. You don't get other people to perform by coming in one day all fired up and then the next day coming in a different way. You come in every day fired up. You're steady and you are sincere, and you'll all of a sudden put that meaning into their lives. And not only will they have their family and themselves to perform for, they'll have the coach to perform for. And that's real crucial. I tell you, there's many times that my athletes have told me that they had almost thrown the towel in, but they looked up and they saw Geible in the corner, and they saw Brands in the corner, and they saw how they were reacting, like, hey, you can still win. And guess what? They continue to try to be successful. And some of them have won some crucial matches that way. Not everybody, but I'll tell you, once you throw the towel in, you're done. And you need all the help you can get. My last college match, I let a guy get inside my head. He didn't do it until right before the tournament started. And then all of a sudden, I was thinking about him instead of me. And it was me that had to wrestle. And so I was worried about him. But, you know, I also had other distractions. I mean, it could be press. I mean, I got distracted with a lot of newspaper people or people that wanted me on camera, with people that wanted me to promo their next event, and I for the good of the sport, for the good of the sport. Well, you got to learn what you can do and what you can't do. You got to take some things in one ear and out the other ear. And when you do that, you'll be a lot better off. But all of a sudden, when something does go wrong, or unexpectedly, a tragedy or whatever, you got to apply that in a way that can take you and bring you to a higher level than you've ever been. If it only happens once in a while. You don't want to be distracted all the time. You don't want to have adversity all the time. You don't want to make mistakes all the time. Because if you make mistakes all the time, it becomes a habit. A mistake becoming a habit is a mistake. People drop off the sidelines because of, there's a lot of state champions in America. There's only a few national champions, but how many world champions are there? Well, there's only one. How many Olympic champions? There's only one, at that particular thing. So there's a lot of people that drop off. And the longer you stay in it, sometimes you become almost like independent. Independent means like I can depend on myself and I can be successful. I think that's great. I love teaching independence. For everyone, my family, my kids, my daughters. Because the more independent I can make them, the more I feel like they're stronger on their feet, the more they can handle society. But you also got to be good listeners. And you never get so big that you can't be coached. I really feel that as you get older, you may have to slow down in terms of the quantity, but never the quality. You got to train smarter as you get older. And I found that a lot of my athletes, once they get beyond me and they go to the next level, and a lot of times after college to the Olympic level, if I didn't stay with them, they would all of a sudden take on this attitude like, well, I think I know about everything there is. I don't need to be helped. But you know what? A lot of them have all of a sudden had a certain amount of success, and then they've tabled off, and they didn't get to where they had been accustomed to. And they never could figure it out. Some of them did figure it out, and some of them actually came back. Tom Brands was a great example. He won a world championship right away, right out of the chute. And then for 2 years in the Worlds, he didn't do as well. But he became a little bit off track. It's almost like you want to win easier, and it just doesn't happen. You can win, but it won't be easier. It'll just be smarter. It doesn't mean you have to beat yourself up every day, but you might have to work harder on recovery to get ready to beat yourself up again.